Hello, good day. I hope everybody's doing well. It's a pleasure to come to you to help you out with another video concerning how you can go about working on the assignment. So I'll go straight to the point as to where we are now and what to do. So far, these are the people who have sent their work to me, and these people have covered all the stages. So there's one person here, Barbara. Okay, I think I'll get Barbara's work very soon. So the next stage that we are going into is article selection. So what I'm going to do is that I'll pick one of your Excel document, and I'll use that as a guide, which all of you can follow and use it in your own. And then I'll also introduce you to the annual publication trend. Okay. When we get to the annual publication trend, or the trend, which other papers call the trend analysis, I would like you to write after doing the annual publication trend. I will love you, or like to see you writing. So you don't only produce the diagram for me. I also expect that you write half a page, maximum 1 page concerning annual publication trend. I have examples here, and I'll show you the example. So let me go straight to the point by picking one of your work. So I'll pick any of you. Let me check. Anyone. So let me check who. Anyone. I can pick anybody. I think I can pick Anastasia. Anastasia. Anyone. I mean, any of them is acceptable. I have Anastasia's paper here. I think I told Anastasia to do some work by redoing this section of the scope, the Google Scholar search. So let me pick another person. Another person. Let me pick another person. Okay, anyway, let me go through all, and the one I'm comfortable with, I'll just use it to help you out. Okay, so this is not the one I'm looking for. Let me look at Bismarck. Look at Bismarck articles. With respect to Bismarck, I told Bismarck to do some work, so I've not received that work. So Bismarck, please do it. Okay, so to comment on these things, what I saw was that some of you didn't go by what I was saying. So please have a look at what I've done. If you look at the set I did for Anastasia in the Scopus, you see that I have the names of the authors here, the title of the document, the year, and then the source title, which is the same as the journal. It could be where the paper was published. It could be a conference paper as well. So this is what I was expecting you to do. You can decide to bring only the names of the authors. Okay, so let me show you something like this, the names of the authors. Or you can write them in full. Writing them in full means writing their numbers are not important, it's just the full name. Or you can put them this way. This was what I was expecting, one of them. And then you also write the title of the article. So these are the titles of the articles. And then the year. Okay, good. Then also I mentioned that you have to look out for articles which are important to your topic. So for example, this studies topic was about net zero and construction and demolition waste, or net zero and construction waste management. This is what I mentioned that it should be. But this is what I was expecting in the articles that I wanted to see in your searches, to search outcomes. Okay, so please do it. So for example, somebody like, let me do one for you so that let me take Anastasia's work. So with respect to Anastasia, for example, you pick the two main keywords, net zero and construction waste. So when you come to Google Scholar, so this is Google Scholar, you put it here in the Google Scholar, in net zero. You can decide to search for all, or if you decide to search for all and you are not getting anything, you can also decide to search for some of them. Any of them is acceptable. Okay, so either all or some. So if I decide to go by this is what's going to happen. So something like this. Remove the all with respect to this. Put them here as I have done. Okay, and then you do the search. And when you do the search, you can see that we are getting 65 results. So with these 65 results, what you have to do is that you go through them. So for example, this paper is very important to your work. Analytical framework of zero waste construction site. This is a very important paper that you have to document. So when you are documenting this, two case studies, please don't concentrate only on literature review papers. It should be any article. So how do you get to know whether the article is important that you have to include? Just please click on it. When you click on the article, it will give you something like this. Okay, here's the abstract. Get to know where the article was published. It was if it was published by Science Direct or Elsevier, then include that article. Also, check whether the paper is an article or a book. Don't include books. Include only journal articles. How do you differentiate between journal articles and books? Always they will tell you. Okay, they will tell you. And normally articles comes with volumes. They come with page numbers. They come with issue numbers. Then in most cases, you also get to know that articles are also, some of them will specifically cite or say it. So the websites where you have to take your articles from, which you must pay attention to include Science Direct or Elsevier, then MDPI. Then you can also look at Taylor and Francis. Then you can also look at Springer. Then you can also look at Sage. Okay, so we have Springer, like this, Springer. Springer also publishes very good article. If an article which is being hosted or is being published by Springer, Nature, or Springer, you have to include that. The article is coming from Taylor and Francis. Include that. Okay, this is Taylor and Francis. This is how they look like. Now you see this sign. Then if the article is also coming from NDPR, NDPR articles are also acceptable. Okay, include them. Or if it is coming from Emerald articles are very, very popular. Include them as well. Include articles from Emerald. So any article that is coming from Emerald, you have to include the article. Okay, good. So most of the journal hosting site, they will state whether that thing is, that thing I mean, the article, the title that you are looking at, whether is really a journal article or is a book or is something else. Just check. Okay, so let me go back to the set so that we don't waste too much time here. And then any other, because even though I've mentioned Springer, Sage, MDPI, Emerald, Elsevier, and Springer, they are not the only general hosting site. The other ones which are also good to check them. But just check whether the document is an article or it's a book. If it's a book, you take it out. If it's a conference, check whether it's a reputable conference. If not, take it out. So for this example, I'll include this. For this one, I will not include this because let me click on it. It seems not a legit um, journal. It seems. But once again, check because you can't just look at the paper and just exclude it. Check the source. Check whether it's a good journal which has been hosted in a region. This one is even a thesis. So theses are out. And then MDPI, this is good. You have to include this. You have to include this. You have to include that. So for example, with respect to somebody like um, Anastasia, I've been able to check a number of articles here which are important for your article. Okay, so let me try as much as possible and then save them, which I will export them to the your site. I'm going to create something here. Okay, this is good. This is good. It has something to do with what you are doing. I'll just add. So I even created a page for you, but anyway, I'm continue. This is good. This is good because circular economy has something to do with waste management, recycling of waste and all that. So it's acceptable. This is so it seems if I'm not so sure, click on it, as I said. Some of them, if I see them, I just see them, so I get to know this is a book chapter. So this will not be included. Then I move on and let me check. There is a book, there's an article, design for construction with minimum practice. There's an article, right? Yeah, this is an article. So because this is an article, is to be included. So this is included. I move on to the next one. So you can see that I'm including both literature review papers and papers which are I'm trying to check this. This is a conference paper. I don't need a conference paper, but it depends on what you are searching for. If in case your searches include conference papers, then you have to add it. Then I'll add this because it seems it has some waste in there. So I'm going to add this. Seems this paper is important, but I will determine that later. We will determine that later. Go from construction regeneration. And it seems this is also important. You can see I'm adding all these things based on how I see them to be important. The effect of carbon emissions on the energy. I'm not so sure. But, don't think so. Maybe this is not something that I'm looking for. Construction fuel and waste, this is important. This is the book. I will not look at that. This is a thesis. I think so, but if I'm not sure, I'll click on it and go and check. So this is since this is a thesis for Diva, what I know, Diva normally publishes thesis. Let me confirm. Credit series. Not so sure. Yeah, I think, yeah, it is. Diva normally publishes thesis. So this is not an article. This is a book. Construction student. This will be important. But we will find out later. Modeling of 3R for sustainable construction waste reduction. This is very, very important. That's something important. Circular economy, issues of circular economy net zero. Yeah, this is important, but if I'm not so sure, I'll just click on it. So what you can do is some of them you can just click and just go and do a brief reading and check whether the paper is really, really important or it is not important to what you are doing. So this is more of a recycle waste of products, which is more of which is also important. So if you want to know whether it's important, you can determine this later on. We just add it for now. Later, we'll just find out whether it's important when we start reading the full content. If it is not important by then, we can take it out. Okay. Okay. So let me go to the first page. Okay. Go to the second page. Enhancing. Yeah, this is important. This is not so important. But has nothing to do with okay. Okay, so if we are not sure, we can just circular economy, circularity. Okay, that's important. Yeah. So once again, if you are not so sure of the paper, at least click on the paper to read the abstract, or if it is possible, you can read the entire content of the paper to see whether it's important to what you are doing or not. Uh, is this important? I guess this is not, it has nothing to do with waste. It's more of energy. Mhm. End of life and body carbon estimation. No. Mm, but if we are not sure, we can just click on it and check. Um, I don't think it's something that is really related to what we are doing. So this is how you please you set you look go through. Please take your time. One thing about this work is you need to spend time. Okay, you need to spend time. And please, I know you are busy. Yeah, but do your best. Paper writing is not that easy. If you really want to write a good paper to get good publications, I mean, good citations, they don't come out easily like that. So I'm pleading with all of you, do your best. My approach to writing papers is to take the gradual approach. You do everything step by step, but you put seriousness to that step. Like if you are just doing, if you are writing even two sentences or two statements a day, just put seriousness into it and write in such a way that you get the best out of it. That is how you become one of the best researchers. Yeah. But if you don't see what you are doing to be important, then I'm sorry, you are not going to get the kind of result that you are looking for. So please do your best. All these things are theses and these are not, this paper has, well, we saw it, so it has been repeated again. And this has to do with supply chain, has nothing to do with what we are doing. Um, yeah, municipal waste. Okay, it's very good, municipal waste, but does it have something to do with construction? Yes, because not all municipal waste has something to do with construction. It could be municipal waste which has something to do with construction. If it is a municipal waste with something with construction, then yes. But if it has nothing to do with construction, please don't include it. Okay, so yeah. Data science application for carbon footprint in buildings. This is not needed. Now we go to the next. These are not needed, I guess. So they have nothing to do with what we are doing. Transport time efficiency, no. Book, no. Sustainability scoring for real estate according to German and European valuation principles. No, this is not needed. No, this is not needed. So if I'm going by this, Anastasia, this is what I've been able to get for you with respect to the net zero and construction waste management. Okay. Yeah. And one thing is that, I mean, you can also decide to do this. I can also give you some of them. One thing about um, this whole thing that we are doing is try as much as possible to document them. Okay. Do your best. Yeah. Okay. So you can also do what I've just done by reducing or taking some of the keywords out. And I think it's possible you will get some additional articles like what I'm getting. So you can do the same and get additional articles. But once again, do your best to document everything. Document means you write. Okay. So keep on searching and searching and searching and searching until you get, if not all, a quite number of articles from Google Scholar which you think they're going to be okay for your work. Yeah. It's more if it is explicitly circular economy, I'll say no to it. But if it has circular economy and a zero in it, then it's something I'm going to check on it. Okay, seems this one has some zero. We may determine whether it's indeed a zero thing or not later on. Okay, so most of the papers here, as you can see, yeah, building sector net zero scenarios of building. Okay, not so sure. You can click on it and check. Yeah, they have anything to do with construction waste, it seems no. Yeah, so please, you can go through the the portal and check whether you can get a pipe, an approach towards. Let me check, is it a book or yeah, it is a chapter, right? It's a book, so this will not be added. Yeah, so you can go through and see whether you can get some articles. Yeah, so you can do a lot. Take your time. You just take your time and get all these articles selected. Take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time. There's no rush in doing some of these things. By going through this, you are learning. Remember, it's a learning process. And any learning process take some time. I know very well that you all are not going to get some of these things at a go. But the more you do it, the more you understand it, and the more you are able to grasp some things which will help you for your current paper and the future papers that you'll be writing. Yeah. So these are conferences. So these are not needed. So you can go through them as many as you can. Just go through, just scan through the Google Scholar. And if you find any paper that you think is important, it has value or which is important for your studies, you can decide to add them as I'm doing now. So just take your time, take your time. So at this point, let's assume these are the important papers I've come across. It seems I'm not getting any new one to add to it because most of them are either conferences, books, or thesis. And we don't need those things in our paper. Okay, so let's assume these are the papers I've been able to come across, which I think they are important for the for this study. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that in order to get all these articles, I go to my library and then I click on this and it will give me all the articles I have selected and deposited into this AAAA23 folder. So once I get this, you can decide to do this one by one, or you can do it as I've done it. So if you want to do this, you want to export it, export CSV. Okay. So it seems I think it goes about 20. There are no more than 20 papers. So these are the papers I've been able to get from um, Google Scholar, which I think they are very important. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add them to the papers I've seen from Scopus and Web of Science. So something is going to happen, and I will be taking you through it very soon. So let's assume these are the papers I have. It's like how I did this for the Scopus, and then the this was Scopus and Web of Science. So I come to Anastasia's the file. So I mentioned authors, title, publication, and year. So now I have Google Scholar, right? I have I have three key databases. I have documents from Scopus, I have documents from Web of Science, I have documents from of Science. So what I'm going to do is I have to combine them. I'm going to combine all these results. All these results. So first, I'll take the Google Scholar. So this is how you have to do it. So the rest of you, that's the same thing that you have to do. Some of you, you have more than three. I got more than three for you. Some of you, I've got Scopus Web of Science, Google Scholar, PubMed, and then ProQuest. But and some of you too, I got only two. So any of them, either you have two or three or whatever, just add them. So I have my authors' names. Okay. So here, I think they are full names. Good. And I have the titles. For the sake of the size of the thing, that's what I'm trying to squeeze things so that we can all see. Then I also have the publication. This also represents the names of the journals or the source. We also call the source where we got the articles from or the source title. And in the year that the papers were published. This is what I wanted you to do. Okay, so I have copied the papers from what? From Google Scholar. Now let me do it for the other one. So I'm going to pick it from Scopus. So with Scopus, I'll pick from the names of the authors. So I have my authors here. So this is what I got from Scopus. So I'm going to combine it. So at the authors section, I'll just come and pick them here. Okay. Then I come to the title section, which is the title of the article. So these are the, I think I copied the wrong authors because I wanted to use the full names of the authors rather. So let me use the full name. It's the same, but this one is the full names of the authors. I prefer the full names for the sake of future analysis. So I'll come back here again and then just add this. Yeah. No. And it didn't work. Let me go back and do it again. I'm going to do it for full. So this is the full one. Good. And then I also pick the title of the articles. So these are the titles of the articles. I'll pick them. Okay. Then I come to the year. Okay, I come to the year. Everything okay? Am I on the right track? Am I doing everything right? Oh, okay. I've not done something. Oh no, I made a mistake. Should rather bring the titles here. Okay, so I've put the titles at the right place. Now let me copy the year that were published. Seems that to be the last thing to do. And then the publication titles will come. Source will come. Okay, so you take your time and do this step by step, please. Once again, as I said, the reason why I've just make it small, it's supposed to be big like this, okay? But the nature of the thing makes the total thing look like this, but I can do it like Because that's how it's supposed to look like. You can see it, right? Good. So let me continue. So I'll continue the numbering. Maybe probably to something like this. So now I have combined the Scopus and then the Google Scholar. Now Web of Science. The Web of Science do the same. I would like to take the full names of the authors and then just put them here. And then the titles of the articles. Then the title of the source. Okay. Don't mind with the capitals. We'll change them later. Now the year. So the year, so combine them two. Okay. Good. So now I have all these articles, right? Which after I've combined everything, I'm getting 55 articles. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to do what we call the duplicate analysis. Duplicate. So what is the meaning of the duplicate analysis? Okay, so the name is duplicate analysis. Analysis. What's the meaning of that? So I'm going to do that with you. Okay. So duplicate analysis. So what is that? So the duplicate analysis here means, so let's look at the word duplicate so that you all understand it. What's the meaning of the word duplicate? Okay, so what is the meaning? According to the Oxford Languages Dictionary, duplicate means exactly like something else, especially through having been copied, or something which are identical, something which is a twin, something which is equivalent, something which is matched, something which is corresponding. One of two or more identical things, having two corresponding or identical parts. So that's it, like something which is the same as the other one. And the reason why this happened, the reason why the articles, some of the articles tend to have the same or they appear as the same as others is that, remember, we are getting these articles from three sources: Scopus, Web of Science, and Google Scholar. And each of these articles, each of these storehouses or databases, they store almost the same article. So if I publish an article, the same title of the article can be stored in Scopus. And it can also be stored in Web of Science. It can also be stored in Google Scholar. So the same article. So the same article. So if I have one article, this same article can appear in all the three. And because this same article is appearing in the same, appearing in these three databases, then a duplicate will happen. Like it's the same thing. Same thing is repeating itself 2 or 3 or 4 times. So to avoid one article repeating itself so many times, we have to take some of them out. And when you take some of them out, that's what we call you are doing a duplicate analysis. So please, there is a software to do this, but I'm trying to do all these things with you because at this point, I think it will be very difficult for some of you to get access to the software. To do all these things manually at this point. And I think I enjoyed it, doing all these things manually. Later on in your academic career, when you grow up, I believe you'll be able to get access to some of these softwares and they will help you. So we have 55 articles, and I'm sure that some of them are duplicates. So let's look at them. So how are we going to resolve these duplicates? So this is how I go about them. This is how I do my duplicate analysis. So you just highlight all these articles, all the 55 articles, and you can decide to sort them out. So there are ways by which you can sort them out. I prefer sorting them out using the title, the title of the article. So you can right click and then you come down, you scroll down to sort. In the sort, click on custom sort at the end. So when you click on it, it will give you this portal page, or to open this for you. Then it will ask you how are you going to sort this thing out. So I decide that I prefer sorting them using the title. Then it also asks you once again. So here you won't do anything to it, but how the order, do you want it A to Z or Z to A? I prefer A to Z. Like articles that have A or A, starting it should come first and the other ones should come. So I'll get to know the articles which are the same and the ones which are not the same. Okay, so with this, I'll click OK. When I click OK, I can see that all the articles have been sorted. So now let me come to the title section. So what is happening here? So what is happening here is that I'm seeing that some of the articles are appearing 3 times. This is a classical example of what I'm talking about. So this is a classical example of what a duplicate is about. So you can see that this same article, I'm sorry, I've made it too small. Let me try to do it this way to make it better. You can see that this same article with the same title, which was published in 2021 in the Journal of Waste Management, has appeared 3 times, or is appearing 3 times. And you should check the authors to be the same. Lu. So this is a classical example of what I'm talking about. So after combining all the articles from the 3 databases, I can see that one of the articles has appeared 3 times. So what do I do? So what I have to do is that I will delete 2 of them. Because they are duplicate, I'll delete 2. Okay, so I'm going to delete 2 because we need only 1. We need only 1. So I'll delete 2 of them. So I'm going to delete 2. Because if I don't delete 2 of them, what is going to happen is that it's the same article, which has appeared 3 times. Because it appeared in the Google Scholar, I think so. And it also appeared in the Web of Science, and also appeared in the Scopus. So I have to delete 2 of them so that I can keep 1. So 2 is gone, left is 1. So we are done with that. Now I'm going down. So let me go down and check other ones. Let me reduce this small. Okay, so now I'm going down to check other ones. Circular economy. Okay, this is not the same. This is not the same. Okay, so you keep going. Okay, good. I've seen one here. These 2. So these 2 are also repeating. These 2 are also repeating. So 1 must go. 1 must go. So I'm going to delete 1. 1 gone. Good. I'm going down. Keep going. And then 2 also appearing here. 2 appearing here. 1 must go. Gone. Now I'm going down. Oh, let me take my time. Seems I'm going too fast. Yeah, good. There's 1 also here, which is also appearing. I can see is appearing 2 times. We'll highlight this. Yeah, I'm just highlighting this to tell you that some of these articles appeared 2 times, so I've deleted either 1 or 2 of them. So this has also appeared twice, so 1 must go. Now I keep scrolling down. This one, 2, also 2. 1 must go. Okay. So any of them, yeah. So I also have this 1 must go. So there are 2. Okay, good. Going down. Here too, I can see that 2, 1 must go. Okay, so another way by which you can confirm whether they are the same is you can check in the publication source, that is the journal, then you also check the names of the authors. You can see that they are the same. So 1 must go. So this must go. So sweet. So sweet. Yeah. So let's go down. Here too. Yeah, you can see that 1 is here. 1 must go. Mm. Here too, I can see that there are 2 and 1 must go. Mm. And then the last one, there are 2 and 1 must go. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's fantastic. So at the end of the day, what is happening here is that after the duplicate analysis, let me check the number of articles I have. So I have to do this again because let me check the total number. So out of the initial 55 articles, so what you have to say is before duplicate analysis, 55 articles. How many did we get from Scopus? Okay, so let me do this. So that will be easier for us to count. So 20 from Web of Science. How many did we get from Scopus? 20 from Web of Science. 18 from Scopus. And I think 20 also from Google Scholar. 20, 20, 18, 17 rather. Okay. So before the duplicate analysis, Google Scholar gave us. So this is how you have to document your work. And this is how you have to write. So when you start reading, you see that we go step by step and um, stage by stage. Google Scholar gave us 17. Scopus gave us 18. And then Web of Science gave us 20. So when they were combined, we got 55. That was before. And then after the duplicate analysis, we are having 44. At this point, there's no need for you to count the number which is coming from Google Scholar, Scopus, or whatever, because here we assume we have combined them. They are one now. So what next? Good. So this is where we have reached. So somebody like Anastasia, you are so lucky. I've done I've done your work for you, but that's okay. That's fine. Oh, that's cool. So this is the articles that we have to work with. So what is the next thing to do? Next thing. So I'm going to show you. So we are done with the duplicate analysis. The next thing is that I would say download these articles. But before you download these articles, this is what you have to do. Okay, let me put this one down. So download all the articles. That is. Then after that, do full test reading to check the ones, select the final most important, which wasn't relevant articles. So how am I going to download this? So this is what I'm going to do. So this is what I do. I'm showing you all these things so that please you do the same. So in my case, this is what I do. I I normally do the full text reading with the downloading of the articles together. And when I say full text reading, this is what I mean. So I've copied this. I just come to Google Scholar. I have this article title and then check it and see whether this article is even important to what I'm doing. Okay. So I'll read through this from the abstract to the conclusion to know whether this article is important or not. So you read through everything and you are reading through this based on your research objective. Our research objective in this Anastasia's paper is to look out for the net zero, issues of net zero, or a paper that captured net zero and construction waste management. So as I'm going through this paper, I'm just trying to check whether indeed this paper talk about that. So this is what you have to do. You can't just throw a paper away because maybe you read the first the abstract or the introduction and you didn't see net zero. At this point, what we encourage students to do is do a thorough reading, read everything. Okay, and this is where the difficulty is, and this is where I think many people find it difficult to do literature review. Okay, but I will encourage you to do it. You can decide to do day by day. If you think you're somebody who is so busy and you can't do too much reading, just pick a paper and read one paper a day. And then whilst we are reading, you can decide to highlight some areas which you think they are important. And then also confirm whether this paper is really indeed important to what you are writing or it is not. If you think this paper, for example, is important, this is what you have to do, you download. And at this point, what I'll do is that those of you who will put your articles together, when you read and then maybe you come to a point where some of the articles you are trying to download and you can't get them, because I think some of you may not have access to download some of these articles. You just send me the list of the articles that you were trying to download, but you couldn't to me. I'll download them from here for you. Okay, so let's assume this paper, I've come to a conclusion that this paper is important. So what do? I'll just create a folder. Okay, so I'll create a folder. And then put this article in. So I'll name this relevant articles. Then I'll just name this one paper one. Paper one. Yeah. So I have this. And I'll do the same for all the other ones. The second paper too, I'll just go and check and see whether it's really important to what I'm doing or not. I think looking at article 2, I don't really see it to be something very important to. It's more of net zero energy buildings instead of net zero and construction waste. Yeah, so this paper, I highly doubt that is going to have any importance to what we are doing. I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt. So this paper, even though it's important, but I don't see it to be gearing towards what we are doing. So in that case, if you think this paper is not important, at this point, don't throw papers away. Rather, highlight it and make it red. That's what I do. I make it red. That means it's telling me that this paper is not important. Then I move on to the next one. Yeah, the next one is, I think, very important. It's even clear. from the title, it's showing that this paper is important. Yeah, so because it's important, yeah, that is a very good paper. Yeah, this person decided to take a bibliographic review approach, but ours is a systematic. So I think, yeah, that this is a very good paper to guide you. I like this paper. Okay, the zero waste in the built environment using the voice viewer. That's a very good paper. So Anastasia, this is one of the papers that should guide you. So normally when I'm doing my work and I'm going through my work, when I see a paper like this, I highlight it green. And the green here means is a paper that I think will be very beneficial to me when I'm writing my article. Okay, that's how I go about it. So I think this paper is going to be very beneficial to me. So I'll make it green and then download it and add it to my papers as well as paper 2. Paper 2. You do the same thing for all the other papers until you get to the last paper on the list. By the time that you finish going through them, then checking everything, you get to know the ones which are relevant and the ones which are not important. So let's assume you have gone through all of them. Here, I'm assuming they are all important. So what is the next step of analysis? That means we have done the duplicate analysis, we have downloaded all the articles, we have done a full test reading, and we have finally concluded that they are important. So the next step of analysis, which normally you write in your data analysis and discussion section of your paper, is that one, you do what we call annual trend analysis, or others call it annual publication analysis. So this is the next step of work, and this is very important. So here, what I want you guys to do is that you don't have to only send me the 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 articles that you combine. You can decide to send it to me, fine, but if you don't, that's okay. Because one thing is that you have to do a good work. What is going to happen is that if you don't do the right thing and you just combine anything, and is what is going to happen is that when we finish writing the paper and submit it, one of the reviewers may point out because the articles, if for example you are saying that you got articles from Scopus Web of Science and Google Scholar, the reviewers will also go and do the same search and check whether indeed you got the 20 papers or 18 papers or 17 papers from these databases. If they check and what you did is not true, you're going to be hot. That's why I've already taken my time and I'm helping all of you out. So please be genuine in whatever you are doing. And if you are going to be genuine, that means you're going to take your time. I think many of you, the problem that you have is that you don't have time. You want to do things in a rush. Pa, 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 pa. We don't work with this thing like that. Take your time. If you want to write a good article, you have to be somebody who has time to work on the paper. Thank you. So let me keep on going. So annual publication trend. So the annual publication trend is how I'm going to do it. So this should come as a session on its own. Annual publication trend. So I will teach you how to do this and then how to write about it by taking one of the papers. So the annual publication trend is easy to do. You select all the years that the papers came from. So you select all the years and then you come in, put it here, and then you can decide to arrange them. So you can sort them. That's from the smallest to the biggest. Any of them is fine. Great. So from the smallest to the biggest. This is what's going to happen. So from 2011, how many papers did we get? Here, so just right here and article. So how many papers do we get in 2011? It's one paper, as you can see from here. Then 2019, 2019, how many papers? Also one. You can see from here. Then 2020, how many papers? There are 3 papers. Then 2021, how many papers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 papers. 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, right? And here's again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 papers. Then 2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So they are 15. Then 2024, how many papers have been published? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 papers in 2024. So if you want to confirm, just sum them up. You can confirm whether they are up to the 44. They are not up to 44, then so everything is okay. So I have all I have all the articles. So what next? The next thing to do is put this thing in a diagram. So 2 things, you can decide to show this in a table form like this, put it in your article and write about it, or you can decide to show them with a diagram. I'm going to show them with a diagram. So you can choose any of the diagrams that you're okay with. It could be 2D columns, 3D columns, it could be 2D bars, and then 3D bars. Because any of them that you're comfortable with, choose them. I'll just choose the 2D. So you can do some modifications here, and then choose the data in terms of, yeah, the years. Let's come here. And then the years are coming here, then the year must be deleted. Okay. Yeah, so as this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Then you can also decide to show the number of articles. If you think this is not something that you are okay, you can change the diagrams. So you can decide to go for this, or you can decide to go for bar chart, and also work. You can also decide to look for something else. Maybe, let's see, any other, or any of the diagrams that you can see here that you are comfortable with. Just change them. There's no one format. You can also decide to show them in the form of a line graph. If I decide to show it a line graph, this is going to be my line graph, or the empty one, or this, or that, or this, or that. Okay, nicely. Good. So this is my line graph, or if it's a chart in whatever. So this is a diagram that I have. So what are we seeing here? So we can see here that there is an increasing trend in the number of publications that are coming out concerning net zero and waste management from the construction industry. Even though we are not much into 2024, just only 4 months, but so far 9 papers have come out. That means by the end of the year 2024, it's likely we can get about 20 or something more than 15 articles. So that means there's an increasing trend. There's an increasing trend of publications in this. So I'll copy this and come and paste it here. So if I'm writing this in my article, or if this were to be in my paper, I'll put it here. I'll show you a paper very soon so that this will be a guide. So I'll paste this thing here. Annual trend analysis or annual publication. Annual publications, simple. And always when you put a figure, please give a title to the figure. The figure must always have a title. You shouldn't put a figure which is not having a title. So this figure will have figure 1. And the name is annual publications. Good. So we have this. So what next? The next thing is to write about it. And this is where I said, so apart from the diagram, this is what I want to see. Apart from the diagram, please, the rest of the page, put the diagram in a small corner. Then the rest of the page, of that one page, write about it. So what is the meaning of this? Okay, to answer this question, which is the last thing I want to show you before I go, is that I will just take you to some of the articles I have published. And some of you, as you may know, I have a number of review papers. So I'll just take you there and show you a number of them. Okay, let me take this one, which I published like about 2 years ago. In this paper, I'll just take you straight to the article. Okay, I term it as article per year. So it depends on how you want to name it. Some call it annual publications, some call it articles per year, some call it annual publication trend. Let me check one article from Dr. Woni. Let me check some papers from Dr. Woni. I think I get one article from Dr. Woni. Yeah, so Dr. Woni also has a number of papers on literature reviews. So please, some of you can read his articles. Not only Dr. Woni, you can check Dr. Imostakon. Okay, so some of the people I recommend you read the articles include read Dr. Woody, Dr. Imostakon, Dr. Enchiafari. You can read my own boss, I confess, Dr. Roberts, Sechi. These people have written, and also my own papers. These people have written a number of review papers. They have so many review papers. Okay. And for you to be a good researcher, anytime you are going to write any section, that is why I said this work demands that you put in your energy and efforts. Please don't be lazy. Do your best. Okay. So if you want to write the annual publication trend, just check these people, some of the papers that they have published. Dr. Roberto Sechi, Dr. Woni. Okay. Dr. Woni, what is his full name? Let me check the name. Woni, Ibrahim Woni. Good, that's the name. Ibrahim Woni. Dr. Imostar, Dr. Maxwell, and Gianfari. Okay, check these people. And one good thing is that all these people were in your department. And today they are global icons. They are global icons. They are global icons in the sense that when it comes to academia, I mean, their publications are all over. People read their articles a lot. So, I mean, you can read them. So if you want to read any of their articles, you are welcome to read them. So for example, if you want to read annual publication trend, just check these people, any of the articles that they have published, you can pick them and then use it to guide you. So if I check Dr. Wuni, for example, Dr. Wuni did annual year. So this is how Dr. Wuni did his annual publication trend. So like what I was showing to you. Okay. And then he talked about them. I just want to give you today, the next time we talk about another thing. We are going step by step. So this time around, this is the time that we have reached the data analysis, the real data analysis. Okay, so I'm going back to my article, that I showed to you. So this is what I said. Let me show you the diagram. So this is my diagram. 2004, 2006, blah blah blah, up to 2022. So 2006, one paper was published. 2010, one paper. 2011, one paper. Then 2014, two papers. 2015, two papers. 2018, three papers. Then it came down to one paper in 2019, seven papers in 2020, and as at 2021, five papers have been published because this paper was done in 2022, getting to 2023. Okay, so what was my comment? And this is where you have to write. So let's see how I wrote about it. I said figure 2, which happened to be this figure. Okay, figure 2 portrays growth in the annual publications from 2016 to 2021. In other words, just mention when the paper was, now the first paper was published, and then where you are now. Okay. The first article on the green finance for green buildings was identified in 2006. There were no other articles published until the years 2010 and 2011, when the topic gained attention again among the researchers was one publication each of the 2 years. So 2010 and 2011, 111 papers were published. The years 2012 and 2013 had no articles published. By the years 2014 and 2015, both had 2 articles published, showing growth in the interest in the topic. So there are 2 questions here. Why do you have to present this diagram? What is it for? What is the essence? So you can see from my explanation that I'm trying to justify or give reasons why this article, this diagram is important. Okay, so what are the reasons? One of the reasons is that the paper gain interest. Researchers gain interest in investigating issues concerning green finance in green buildings. Then it continued to talk about the articles in each of the years. There were no articles published in 2016 and 2017, but 2018 included 3 published articles. The year 2019 had 1 published article. Then the number of publications rose sharply to 7 in 2020 and 5 in 2021. And 5 in 2021. It can be seen that the past 2 years have witnessed a dramatic increase in publications arising from green finance for green buildings. What is the reason for that? So this is where you explain your work beyond the articles. So that means you have to do a little bit of reading as to why people are getting so much interest in the green finance and green buildings. So this is what I said. This can be attributed to the fact that worldwide there has been an increasing shift from traditional buildings to sustainable or green buildings to reduce damage to the environment. Financing these green buildings is also gaining great attention from green financing models. This is not surprising, as the International Monetary Fund has indicated that green buildings are part of the most crucial investment opportunities that can be entered into in the coming decade. Ajekum Etar 2020 also opined, or they also mentioned that increasingly green finance options will be topical in the coming years to meet the demands and principles of green buildings. Further, this person have also, or this article have, or these people have also suggested that by 2030, the globe or the global world will experience increasing patronage of sustainable buildings across emerging cities, supported by sustainable finance. So this is my reason or this is the reason I've given to why the number of articles have increased. Yeah, so you can use this. But as I said, please don't rely only on this. Because what is going to happen is that if you are going to only rely on this thing, okay, you may produce almost the same thing and then just change the names and then don't copy this. What you can do is that, as I mentioned earlier on, read articles from other people, and then based on the understanding that you get, you can also put it in your own way. Let's look at what Dr. Woody wrote. The review articles were published between 2008 and August 2022. Figure 2, which is this figure, shows the annual distribution of the included studies. There was little scientific interest in the CSFs between 2008 and 2008. The last 5 years recorded a rising and mounting scientific interest in the CSFs for circular construction projects, with the highest scientific productivity recorded in 2021. The trend suggests that researchers, stakeholders, and industry practitioners are currently interested in understanding the success ingredients for circular construction projects. The rising trend is expected because circular economy is increasingly occupying the nucleus of the sustainability discussions and debates in the construction industry. So here too, you can see that they are saying that, or Dr. Woody is saying, the reason why there is an increasing trend is because you see this topic as the nucleus, the main thing that people are talking about. And that is why, in the construction industry, that is why the topic is gaining grounds. So that's it. So once you are done, you can explain this maximum of half a page or up to the goal of this section, and then up to the end of the page, and you are done. So please, that is all that I have for you today. Okay. So if you have any question that you want to ask me, or there's something that you don't understand at this point of our work, if you don't understand anything, please come back and talk to me and let's have a discussion. Yeah. One of the reasons why I think over the years I've seen people don't come back to you to ask you questions is that, as I've always been saying, I think sometimes people don't do some of these things on time. Because they don't do some of these things on time, like they rush through it, and then they are afraid to approach you and ask you questions. Some of the people too, genuinely, they are also afraid. Maybe they think that maybe when they approach you, you may say something that they don't like or something. But please don't be afraid here. If you have a question, get back to me, ask me questions, and I'll help you out. Okay, so I'll end the audio recording here. And once again, don't forget, first thing that you have to do is you have to do the duplicate analysis. And how do you go about a duplicate analysis? First, you have to combine all the articles from all the databases together. Once you go through them and remove the duplicates, then now you can decide to go through the articles and then pick the ones which are very important and download them. Once you finish downloading, you can read them again. Then finally select the most important articles. Once you select the most important articles, the next thing to do is that you do the annual trend analysis of the annual publications. And that is, to me, I think one of the most important, or I'll put it, the easiest so far. That's the easiest, because with this one, you just pick the ES and just something like that. And then you also go ahead and write a maximum of a page and add it. Okay, so I think at this point, I'll just I wish all of you the best and take care. Don't forget to reach out if you have a question, and see you with your responses in the next 2 weeks. That's in 2 weeks' time. And when I say 2 weeks' time, I'm talking about today is 25th. So 2 weeks' time will be on the 9th. 9th of May. So do your best to do this. Please, we are doing it together. So if you have a question, you let me know. If you have an issue, let me know. And let's resolve it. Okay. Yeah. We are going step by step. And so far you are all doing well. So keep the momentum, keep going, and let's get this thing done. Once you have it, you can submit it and get a paper published. Thank you and all the best. Take care. Bye.